Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching The Wheel of Time, Season 2, Episode 3, What Might Be. I adore this show. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go.
They are from before the breaking.
Fuck.
Made during a time when we bring you face to face with your greatest fears, and what those fears are for you to know. And you need to tell no more than you wish.
I mean, that could help her unravel why she can't channel.
What if you are doing this for someone else, you will fail. Do this for you. Or not at all.
The energy seems genuine here. What's her thing of how I wouldn't do this now? Is it because she, like, cares about her now? She's like, oh, she was nice to my son, so I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't sent you to your death. So what is this fear? Her hair is not found. Is she a child again? I mean, sort of dressed a bit like a child. Is she reliving the loss of her family?
Where did you get those?
Is she gonna have to, like, let him die to face the fear? Mother with a braid like hers. Who were these people? Raiders or...? She has a wonderful memory to have learned that after one hearing. I've always thought that. Does she have some kind of heritage? Is that why they had... Oh, I'm sorry, sweet girl, because she lived this.
Way back, we come but once.
You can't change things. Because that was like a saying in the old tongue. Is she like got some link? Oh, she lived this. I'm sorry, my love. Oh, she bears the wounds she got. Thank you. I was feeling a bit dry. That was my main concern.
Wash clean of your sins and the sins committed against you. You come to us pure.
Is there going to be like a fear from the past, a fear from the present, and a fear from the future? We've got this.
Nynaeve.
Sam.
The fever. It spread through the two rivers after you left.
Oh, is this real? Or a fear?
You abandoned us. I may not be a wisdom, but I'm the one who stayed.
This isn't necessarily what actually happened in the Two Rivers. I mean, it could be because the magic could do that. The like magic of whatever these archers do could take you to show you a version of like what actually happened. But I feel like if a fever had come through the Two Rivers, it would be her domain to heal it. So it could just be her worst fear is that she swore to protect the people of the two rivers, and she then left them, and they would be helpless against something like this, and somebody totally unqualified could come and take over. Doesn't necessarily mean it's real, right?
Your job was to protect us, and you left us. If you can heal them, then
It's
do
her
it.
greatest fear.
Otherwise, go back to your tower.
But I mean, Perrin has heard from home, so if this had happened, he'd have heard, right? Unless I don't want to trouble him.
You're going to be all right.
How is Rand? Is he happy?
So happy.
He is.
Thank you for keeping him safe.
Oh god. Right now she thinks he's
Will you stay
dead.
with me until the herbs have done their work?
This could actually be happening right now.
It is to see your face.
Way back, we come but once.
Oh, so she's fully has to abandon them. You know, he just asked her, will you hold my hand while I die? It will bring me comfort. And so they want her to, like, leave him as he dies to go back. It's truly, like, making her fully abandon them. It was more complicated than just you abandoning.
Right. Please, to the Two Rivers. There's a plague there. Something we could all fix.
Every woman's fears are her own property. Do not burden us with them. You are washed clean of your sins and the sins committed against you.
I mean, I would truly say, like, can we check if there is a plague? And if there is a plague, can we send someone to fix, like, after the archers? But look, I think there's a plague. Could we possibly send a person to go and deal with it?
We need to go.
Oh, God. Red means dead.
A remarkable woman, wisdom. It's beautiful. Oh, a lioness, wisdom.
Did she just kill Lan in her dream? In her vision?
What happened?
Was that her fear is becoming a red and therefore killing him, right? Like, her fear is becoming a red and becoming like a man-hater, murdering men, and just not being herself, right? So, that...
You are washed clean of your sins.
Well done, child.
You come to us pure in heart.
Yes, you've broken her spirit. Great.
You are Nynaeve Mira, accepted.
What did you make me do? Your fears are your own property, child.
I don't think it was real.
If this test is about turning my back on the people I love, the people who trust me to take care of them, if being an Aes Sedai means trusting the tower over everything and everyone else, I won't.
Nynaeve.
Nynaeve.
This place never felt like Nynaeve's home.
Allowed to return.
I came here for you, Egwene.
Not
To
for,
protect you.
not for
The
yourself.
truth is, you don't need my protection. You're gonna be a woman who's actually worthy of that title. An Aes Sedai who makes me proud of the months I spent here.
I think this is the right choice for
Miss you
both of
so
them.
much.
Yeah. Lan's going to the White Tower. The wheel works in mysterious ways. That is just connection.
I could come with you
Oh man.
if you'll have me.
Oh, I love them. But she's a focal point. She can't go home. Or she can't... She's still in the Archers!
I thought I heard something.
That's why she couldn't remember it. Fuck. Oh, I love that connection. I wanted that to be real.
What's wrong?
She outright didn't go through that. Is she lost now?
No,
Or is this real?
it was a strange feeling, like
Fuck. What does that mean?
She wasn't ready.
She was.
I've swimmer to the Archers before. Hope your conscience never lets you make peace with that.
Is what's happening with Nynaeve and Lan real? But then did Nynaeve say goodbye to Egwene? Was that real? Or is Nynaeve just lost in the Archers? I'm so confused and stressed.
Never lets you make
See,
peace
they
with that.
think she died, but they don't also admit they don't
know
understand
I
if it's
won't.
real or not. What happens? The longest intro of all time. This is very, very stressful. Okay, I understand it's very stressful. And I do worry about Perrin and Loial and Cedric. But is Nynaeve lost forever in the Archers? Did it kind of really happen but not, and so Nynaeve is chilling with Lan? Should have known the archery hadn't appeared to her again. Are they looking for any force sensitive, Jesus Christ? Anyone with strength that they can turn into that? There's nothing you can do. Are they taking the women who can channel? The fleet of Luther Payandrag? Sorry. A woman gets dragged away again and again. Luther Payandrag.
To our great empire across the sea.
Just if you have a great empire across the sea, fucking stay there.
this man.
What has this got to do with everything with the dark one?
Well, like that, wouldn't you?
If you don't kneel, do you get shoved your head on that spike?
Bend the knee.
Yeah, if that spike is
Those who
going...
will not swear the oath.
that was coming. So my question now is whether Ishmael, or whatever his name is here sort of meddling and stirring in affairs to destabilize things to make it easier for the Dark One, or whether these people are with the Dark One. I mean, I would bow. Our group. You have no choice.
Our pride is not worth more than our lives.
It's just pride. Live, survive. Perrin, don't stand out, sweetheart. I mean, in my opinion, an oath made under extreme duress counts for nothing. Oh, he knows Perrin, right?
How long are you going to wait?
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't lie to me, boy.
Rand, he knows enough.
I want to know how to control it.
A girl turning red. Then I'll show you what you want to know.
Are you serious?
Sweetheart.
Around 1,000 years of riders whose hearts are the light.
She seems out of place here. I'm not convinced he hasn't imagined her, or that she's not a dark friend. There was something about, wasn't it one of the prophecies in the book that the sister said she was going to go and get? Wasn't it like the flaming blade and the branded hand that holds it? And I could be I've misheard that, but they're branding people's hands.
Nye, it's me.
So that wasn't real. So that means Nynaeve's currently trapped in the arches, right? Like, none of it was real. She's stuck there.
We need to go in there and get her out.
The archers don't work like that.
Nynaeve is dead.
She's
Not
not.
coming back.
She's not dead, okay? She's not dead.
The loss is going to shake you, but take the time you need. But know the pain will pass.
Thanks for your sympathy.
Egwene, whatever you're
Get out! I don't even know you. I don't want you here. Just get out!
She's gonna need people later, but right now, she's lost so much. I refuse to believe Nynaeve is dead. So, she's coming through the arches, one way or another, or she magically made it to land. They're also alone.
The door's open, you're free to go.
For real.
What are you playing at?
All you leave, stay. Makes no difference to me.
Is she actually trying to do a kindness for Nynaeve because she feels
So
guilty?
after 5 months of
Moraine might have seen something in you. Light, darkness, importance. But I see nothing.
You locked him up and told him his friends hated him
Dangerous.
for 6 months.
You're
5
an
months.
insidious coward and wit.
Matt, she's unstable, don't listen to her.
Desperate boy. You left them.
You did,
And
but
you do it again.
you can grow from this.
So go. Find Egwene. Just spare me the misery of your company. It's already cost too many people their lives.
You know you didn't need to be half as cool to him or even do any of this to him, right? They made such a thing of the doorway appearing but once. Is it going to appear again? Nynaeve's not dead. Like, I would be crying my eyes out if she was dead, and she's not fucking dead.
Don't walk away from me. I'm not done with you.
Dangerous it is to overstep.
Leandra, can you just stop terrorizing people?
I speak the truth, so hear my words. And I sent her to the arches because I believed in her.
This is all you needed to say to her. Yeah.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
I love that. Show her you're not cowed. Like Leandrin, it irritates me to death. Is Rand going to dinner at court? This is going to end horribly badly.
I could get used to you looking like this.
Who is this woman? I don't trust this lady. It's very easy to get into this society. I suppose in part it's because the rich never expect it.
Hunt for the one is not real.
Oh, sweet boy.
There is no reward.
Of course
It's
not.
all deployed to parts of the 4K.
He's so good.
What about you? What is your reason for helping me?
Don't ask questions you know the answer to.
This is an
If you
elaborate
ask for help,
scheme to go
I
do.
have to go.
Miss the fireworks.
Who is this lady? Like, if they got caught, I don't think they'd have been very kind to them.
You must be desperate.
Rand.
How do I stop it?
I think his answer's gonna be you don't.
You can't.
Yeah. Rand.
That's the thing.
You're mad.
There's no madness, boy. The Aes Sedai use that light to justify their cruelty. But they know that only the dragon can defeat the Dark Ones.
You do hear voices, sir.
You're not the dragon. This was a mistake.
It was a mistake, Rand.
To get me out of here, I know you are. I'm the only one who can teach you.
Rand.
You can't help me. Maybe, but none of us can hide from what we are.
Rand. All this work for nothing. Go to her. Don't let Leandrin poison you against yourself. Leandrin is poison.
What that matters right now is that that door's open and it's time to walk through it.
Mm-hmm. And you could go
There's
and find a
definite way for
Gwen.
you.
I need to see Nynaeve. Back through the arches, please. He knows who he is.
I was starting to worry. You must be thirsty.
Like, is he just meddling in this? But then she was at the table, so she is a dark friend. Wolves howling in the background of a lot of his parents' scenes.
I want to meet the monster.
He's not a monster.
Who are you? You know who I am.
So this guy isn't the Dark One, he's the Dark One's friend. Loyal servant.
The more wolf you are, the more you're mine.
Jesus.
I'll be watching your progress with great interest.
The more wolf you are, the more you're mine? Eren, you were wonderful and good, and don't let this evil man influence anything.
Let's go.
You can learn a lot from this man.
Run! He'll show you where. What about Loyal and the others? You can't help your friends from the back of a cage. Run!
He's not wrong. Is she working with Leandrin or something?
Well, don't let me down.
What is their plan? It only just occurred to me right now that she could be working with Leandrin. I think it's because I like and trust her that I mean, I didn't necessarily trust her, but I liked her.
If you ever leave me like that again, and I will kill you.
This is not a very stable dynamic. Like, I think you should probably leave this place.
Show me.
Is she a dark friend? Yeah.
I'm not afraid of you.
Is that just a dream, or did that happen? Oh god. Was that a dream or did it happen? He is losing himself a little bit, but... Sweetheart, you need to find Moiraine and people that can help. I'm not in control. She really would do anything for her. I love you.
So help me or leave.
No.
She wants to help you.
You were going to hurt yourself. Do you really think Nynaeve would want you to throw away your life? Your future because she's gone?
She's the strongest person I've ever known. How could she have failed?
Okay, I like you, Elaine.
I'll get us some blankets. We can stay the night. Maybe what she faced offered her a better turn of the wheel.
God. She's just living a life of peace and happiness. It's not real. Oh, they're all are. Oh, they're all thriving in her world. I feel like it's Nynaeve gonna be powerful enough to realize it's not real and force her way out. Oh, and he's at peace. Thing is, with the state of the world the way it is, they would never actually be happy like this. In a better time, a better turning, they would be.
Yeah.
Oof.
Shella. Now.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh god, it's like her daughter having to live through the same thing she lived through, hiding in the cellar. The doorway, like, it's basically like she knows that there is the world they live in right now. This future could never happen. This could never be the way things work. They would need to do so much more fighting before we could reach this place. If they stop fighting, stop trying to make things better, this would keep happening and there will be no safety. The doorway will appear. You can force your way through the doorway. You're super powerful. The doorway may not appear again, but you can fucking make it appear. It's not real, sweetheart, okay? I know it feels real, but it's not. She's been offered a second chance.
But I need you to trust me.
She has to walk away from the prospect of this daughter, doesn't she? Is she gonna bring a child through with her? Or come through without the... Yep. The doorway came twice for her. I'm so glad you're back, sweetheart. Even if that was beyond traumatizing, because that felt real. Years of life. You're not alone.
All right.
That life will never be, but you will be happy. Oh, brilliant, Nynaeve. Okay, so episode 4 would really be appreciated. Oh, fucking okay. That was brilliant. That was fantastic. So, Nynaeve. The episode bookended really with Nynaeve, and then Nynaeve was woven all throughout. The trials of the archers facing what you fear. So her first fear, God, was really only the start of this episode. It feels like 1,000 years have happened since Nynaeve was with her parents. Was reliving the day her parents died. Reliving the loss of her parents. Her greatest fears is that pain that she... You never get over that kind of pain, do you? I do wonder, given that they told her something that was like a saying in the old tongue and she remembers it word for word, whether there's some significance of the fact that she knows that and remembers that. That like her family was targeted specifically for a reason, or it was just a random raid. But brutal to have to go through that again, and for her to have to go through that again. And then the next choice, I don't think that was really what was happening in the two rivers, because Perrin made a passing comment to having heard from home that Matt hadn't been seen. Now, if there is also a plague, surely they'd be more concerned about home. But I also suppose they could have discussed the plague in previous letters, but then Nynaeve would have heard of it. So I have to believe that wasn't truly what was happening in the Two Rivers, but that is her worst fear. She was the wisdom. When people got sick, they came to her and she healed them. And now that she's here in the White Tower, she has seen how easy it is for them to heal everything. Her old fears were that the White Tower doesn't care, that a small village like the Two Rivers would send for help and they wouldn't get it because the White Tower doesn't care about small people. That is a fear she has carried with her. That is a belief she's carried with her. So her fear is that by becoming an Aes Sedai, she is betraying everything she once stood for and that she's betraying the people that depended on her. I mean, we learn from the Elaine, that was it. I was trying to remember which character had said it, that in the Battle of the Two Rivers, the young wisdom was slain, which makes it seem as though the people there believe she died there. They have no idea she's alive, or at least that was what was put about initially. So they don't necessarily view it as a betrayal in that way, but she herself does, because yes, she went after 4 of her flock, 4 of the young people who she had to protect, who were in danger. She went after them, but then choosing to never go back does feel a bit like a betrayal. It does feel like they need you and you're not there. But I do think the Two Rivers will be okay. They will find a way through anything that comes to them, and maybe they'd have been better off with Nynaeve there, but the world will be better off with her here. And then her third vision, that of choosing to abandon, that is what's actually really fascinating to me, that her third vision, trying to like puzzle that out, because it's kind of, I guess, the fear that she will lose a normal life. Like there's some world in which she could possibly have had a normal life with Lan and gone home, and Egwene would have become a mighty Aes Sedai, Perrin and Matt would have been happy, she and Lan would have had a daughter, and everything would have been beautiful. But her great fear, I guess, there is a part of her that fears that, I mean, it's a wisdom that never would have happened anyway. If they'd gone home, she wouldn't have been able to have a husband or a partner, because that was the whole thing between that Rand and Egwene in the first episode. But kind of losing any chance of a normal life. But also, I guess, the fear that if she makes the wrong choice, things will get worse, that kind of life is not possible, and if she walks away from the Aes Sedai, is she actually leaving the world in a worse off place? I really wonder what she's going to do at this point. Is she going to choose to become a sister? Is she going to stay in the Aes Sedai? Or is she going to forge her own path? Like, I think what I took 100% from that is that she cannot put her head in the sand and pretend things aren't happening that are happening. The world is changing. The world is at this crucial point. Terrible things are happening, and she has the power to help. And if she just puts her head in the sand and goes and hides in a small corner of the world, the trouble will continue and it will find her. Whereas if she were to stand up and fight, maybe she could make a difference. And it just stands now whether that difference is with the Aes Sedai or whether the difference is out in the world doing other things. And I don't know. I feel like that vision was kind of like the fact that Lan said, "Do you regret leaving?" not long before the attack happened makes it seem as though she's going to choose to stay. I mean, that is a place where they can teach her to get more powerful, teach her to control and understand her power. Maybe she will commit more than ever before. And then I feel like she's going to become a Leandrin's student, and fuck that. I don't like Leandrin. Brilliant character. A character I do not like. So that was intense. Then you have Egwene. Finding out that, you know, it doesn't matter how jealous you are, she loves her to death. Jealousy doesn't matter about that. And so finding out that she was dead, and then having the Aes Sedai be like, yeah, just deal with it, you know, in a few years you'll deal with the pain, I'll make you stronger. Why is that woman a matron of novices? Like, maybe that's how you deal with a homesick novice or something, but this girl has just lost her friend. Like, yes, the overall sentiment you give her can be, you will grow from this, you will be stronger, it's going to be okay. Obviously, you're not going to say to her, yeah, it's going to be the worst day of your life forever. Like, how terrible or bad bedside manner was that? And for Egwene to be like, I'm gonna get her back, was everything. I did love that Egwene stood up to Leandrin, and even Leandrin's kind of intimidation, she made sure that she knew that you didn't, like, cow me. I still don't respect you. I still see you. I really enjoyed the fact that she didn't back down when Leandrin tried to be all like, I'm so scary and strong. Because Leandrin is not stable or good. And like, she tried to play on all of Egwene's insecurities. She absolutely mind-fucked Matt. Like, the whole time she had him captive, she was telling him that he had betrayed his friends, which, I mean, he kind of did. I don't think it was as big of a conscious thing of like, I'm betraying all of my friends. I think he just got scared and overwhelmed and didn't go. I don't think it was like a, suckers, hate you, go die. Like, I don't think it was as a betrayal in the way she made out. And she made it very clear that they weren't even writing about him or thinking about him, and we know for a fact that they were writing and thinking about him, which then made it that I feel like I mean, not that she would have bothered reading him the letters if she was going to read him the whole thing, but if he hadn't had that in his head, he may well have gone to Egwene, especially seeing her crying, seeing that she was in pain. He would have wanted to go and be there for his friend, even if they were never the closest to, even if there was, he immediately would leave afterwards. He wouldn't have just left her there. But Leandrin got in his head, and she did it intentionally because she's got him doing what she wants him to do, and I really don't like that. I really hate manipulating people and taking away their agency. To get at Moiraine, it would seem, from what she said to Min, was like, Moiraine will have nothing against either of us. Like, I'm just very baffled about what this is and where they're sending Matt and what they want Matt to do. Do they want Matt to kill the dragon? Is Min like, yeah, I saw a vision of stabbing him? 10 out of 10 it's going to happen. Like, where are they going? Are they going to where Rand is? Are they going to the Shadow City so he can get more possessed? What I don't know what they're doing or what Leandrin's plan is, and I don't like it, and I hate that Matt is at the centre of it, because this is the last thing Matt needs, is mindfuckery going on around. He just needs time to come to terms with what happened to him, with what he chose, and to be forgiven and accepted by his friends, and to heal, and to grow from it, not to be used. And I know Min likely doesn't have much of a choice, and potentially she has seen something in the future that makes her think this is the right course of action, but what is she playing at? I hope she ultimately tells Matt what's going on, because I don't like that. I liked her, now I don't like her very much. Perrin, that was all delightful. To be honest, as much as, like, obviously, like, keeping your word is important, and especially in a society like this, giving an oath matters. But if somebody puts a blade to your throat and the throat of everyone you love and says, swear loyalty to me, I am not going to think that person did anything wrong by breaking that oath. The only difference would be if there was some kind of magic involved and they can't break it. I do not also blame a single person for bowing and saying the words, like, live. Your pride is not worth your life. So Perrin is now in the woods with a wolf. Potentially other Wolfman will track him down. Hopefully he will learn something more about himself from this, but what scares me is that Ishamil said to him, like, oh, the more wolf you are, the more you're mine, I think he said, which implies that he will lose himself to the darkness if he becomes a wolf. I don't necessarily think that's true, and I just think he's trying to get in Perrin's head and mess with Perrin, and that is not what I need Perrin to do. If anything, that will make Perrin not want to use his wolf abilities, which will therefore make him weaker. Is it a whole, like, a double bluff that he's trying to weaken Perrin? I just want to give his characters hugs. Perrin is running in the woods. The rest of his little gang, including Loyal, are who knows where, with who knows what happening to them. Not great. It's not great. We did not see Moiraine in this episode. She's off. I don't know where she's off to. Lan still has the poem. I would like for him to go to Tar Valon and see Nynaeve and Egwene and tell them Rand is alive. That would just really make me happy. But I don't think it's going to be that straightforward. So, speaking of Rand, he is not in a good way. He really was hoping Logain was going to say to him, yeah, this is how you use the magic. Oh, this is how you control it, and you can get it to do what you want, and it doesn't affect you too badly. It's just like this. I did enjoy the revelation that Rand was the one he was laughing at. I did wonder when he became the dragon if that had been the case. Or when we found out he was the dragon, if that had been the case. But for him to kind of work so hard, so single-mindedly with this goal, this thing of this awful thing I'm going through, I'm suppressing this, it's getting harder and harder to suppress. He's going to give me all the answers and it's all going to be okay. And then to have that man laugh at your face, like, it's not great. He is really not doing well. I honestly at this point think his best bet would be to rejoin up with Moiraine, because maybe she can give him some kind of guidance. She wants to help him at the very least, and you know, I think if he were to take a step too far, which I think he is afraid of, she would stop him, or at least die trying. So I think that would be his best bet. I don't trust the woman he's with. I'm assuming him using the one power in their fun time together was a dream and not something that actually happened, but it was kind of him losing control of everything. But regardless, he is taking great risks for this. I mean, sneaking into that place, those nobles, yeah, they were kind of dumb and they, you know, didn't really think, wait, we've never heard of these people before, maybe they shouldn't be here. They were just like, oh, if they have nice clothes on, they must be us. Like an assassin would have the easiest time ever assassinating someone in that place. But it was quite risky because if they were called out, I don't imagine those people who are content with letting their people starve and purge themselves by going on a pointless hunt that will kill them are going to be take too kindly to two people sneaking into their palace to steal a bottle of wine. The fact that the woman was willing to take such a risk on him, like, I don't care how much he helps you remember the person you loved, but then, like, potentially, like, breaking into the castle to steal a bottle of wine for an undisclosed purpose, it's a lot. I worry that she's a dark friend very badly. I just worry in general. Rand is not in a good way. There is a genuine part of me that wonders if she isn't real. I do feel like other people have communicated with her, which suggests she is real, but I'm still not 100% convinced. Now, if she is real, the sexy times with the magic, the one power was real, then she's definitely a dark friend, 1000%. But I worry that I just think Rand needs to, as much as it seems counterproductive because he doesn't want to be around the people he cares about because he's worried he'll hurt them, but I think if he was around the people he cared about, they would help keep him stable and not have him like wobbling around and losing himself. I really am worried about him right now. Desperately hoping that the poem was like, if you seek the dragon, go to this port and then she'll be there and she'll find him. I don't know if it is a port, but, you know, go to the foregate or whatever and you will find him there. That would be really handy for me because I think he needs to team up with someone that cares about him, or at least cares about his mental well-being. Moraine is not doing great. Maybe could he do something that would give her back her access? Because, like, it was, I don't know. Oh, this episode ending was cruel. Like, the worst thing this episode did was end. And they didn't give me episode 4. What a brilliant first 3 episodes. Like, I feel like they really just, things are just so up in the air right now, and I don't know where anything's going, and I want to know where things are going. So, okay, this season, we haven't actually seen the Dark One yet. That was just one of his servants, Ishmael. The sea pirate people were saying that, like, this was our land, and then we left and we promised we'd come back. We now have a really wonderful empire over here, but we're just going to come back and invade it. Stick to your empire. Now, the woman, like the lady, whatever her face, she had like the long naily fingery things, and those are what we saw under the table when the little girl was under there. So that suggests that she is a dark friend and working with the Dark One, and it's very interesting. Did they go with the breaking of the worlds? Is that something like that? Like, before the breaking of the worlds even, were they in league with the Dark One this whole time and they've been biding their time? Very, very interesting and disturbing. But at the same time, like, they were taking Perrin to do their own thing, and Ishmael was like, yeah, I'm gonna let you go. You know, I mean, he didn't let him go, but he didn't stop him going either. Very interesting. Like, is he playing them? Is he using them? What is going on? I mean, to be honest, I feel like the Dark Friends are just being conned by, like, this cult, because, like, the Dark One doesn't actually care about any of them. That is the vibe I have. That he would use them to whatever ends he needed. He would promise them things like the hunt, where they're like, oh, if you find the horn, you'll get riches. Like, it's all a con. At the end of the day, you do what he wants, and then you get nothing out of it. I love this show. I'm so happy it's back. I adore these characters. They shine, and they are flawed, but they shine regardless despite their flaws, and I love them, and I love this show. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.